coach, but I am definitely in all of the other platforms that I have connected here. Yeah, my name is Sandy, and I'm a business strategist, and I wanted to come in here tonight, and we're going to begin talking about building your credit, how to clean up your credit, how to get your credit together, because you're missing out on generating wealth. Because a lot of times, if you don't have the funding right off, you can get it through, having good credit and, maybe financing whatever you want, whether it's going to be real estate or whether it's going to be something else. But that's why I wanted to begin the conversation. But before I do that, I have a client of mine that I want to just let you hear one of my many testimonials about how I help my clients clean up their credit, get their credit together, whether they do it themselves or I help them and assist them. So here it is. We're going to bring him on here on the platform here and I know over here in Instagram you probably can hear him. Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you, Miss Sandy?
Oh, I am awesome. I'm awesome. Thanks for being here on this brief. I know you have things that you're doing. You're a busy man, and when I reached out to you earlier, you said, "Okay." I told you I wasn't going to take up about 2 or 3 minutes of your time. So Instagram, you probably can hear. You can hear him speak. You got an echo?
No, I
You
do not.
okay? Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's on my end, but at any rate, I'm going to begin this week. We're going to be talking about in my lives. We're talking about credit, and we're talking about I'm going to talk about how to help others clean up their credit. And I know that when you and I start doing your business coaching and you were getting ready to do your businesses, you
Yes.
really you needed you needed you had some things that you wanted to straighten out with your credit. So I just wanted to
Yes.
kind of let you give a quick testimonial or of how you don't have to get too specific about your personal business. I'm gonna let you tell it the way you want to. And but I just wanted you to give a testimony of how we work together. And did you accomplish the things that I mean? Basically, you followed my instruction. That's so important. That's the main thing that you have to do when you are, getting your stuff together. So, all righty, Mr. Carlos, we're going to ask you to just kind of briefly tell us, give us your brief testimony about how you were able to establish credit after we got things situated for you. Yeah.
Well, what happened was when I connected with Sandy, Miss Sandy, I was telling her about my business, my entrepreneurship, and one of the things she told me, she said, you always want to have good credit. I didn't know nothing about credit. I
Mm-hmm.
found out no credit is like having bad credit.
Right.
So we went from there, and she began to explain to me about secured credit. That how you take your money and you go to your local bank, whatever bank you feel best for you, and you put a certain amount down. I think some of two, $300, $500. So
Right.
we began to build off of that. So I did that, and she explained to me, they explained to me that you make sure you make your payments on time. So I made my payments on time every month. Or like I say, I use my money, and the reason why they do that is because if anything go wrong, if you default, it'll be on you.
Right.
So I began to make my payments, on time. I say I did like a $500 credit limit. So I say maybe I did maybe like 22%. I didn't want to go over
Right.
150. Not all the
Right.
time I had to go, but that was the minimum that I would do. So I
Mm-hmm.
made sure I made my payments every month, the full amount. So slowly but surely, I began to build my credit up. And I think maybe a few months after that, I told Miss Sand, I said, well, I'm getting some cards in the bank. I think it was Capital One, some others. And she will say, well, do you feel comfortable about? She said, if you get another card, you can actually increase your credit. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I went with $300 and I did the same thing. The minimum was like $25. I paid like 35 every month. And I began to see my credit scores increase. I
Right.
began to make my payments on time as far as my truck note and other stuff. So
That was helping
slowly
you.
I began to see my credit begin to my scores to go up. And it was amazing because I didn't understand the importance. of credit. Not all the time. Just because you got money mean that you're going to be able to get certain things. You definitely got to have your credit scores right in order to do the things you want to do, whether it be in business or in your personal life.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, and even with that, because of the couple of things, although when you get sometimes once you get new credit, sometimes it can affect your score. But I mean, that's just when you initially get it. But then as you're paying and you getting that history, each
yes,
month you pay, and I know you saw that happening with you, correct? You saw that
yes, I
happening with
did.
you. Yeah.
I
Each
did.
month, each
Yes,
month it goes up, and if you
yes,
pay it, there are some strategies that I have in a course of mine that I will be sharing with you and giving you the opportunity, everyone, to get involved in. Each time and each month you pay on time and you pay before time sometimes. And then there was a strategy that I told you about, how you can really look favorable to the credit bureaus and pay a few payments ahead or advance, and it'll help
yes,
you, and yeah, and it'll help your credit as well. So what I told
yes.
you, the strategies work, correct? Did they work? The
It
strategy,
worked. It really
yeah,
worked. It really
yeah,
did. It really
it
did.
really works.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah. Well, we know you have things going on. I just wanted you to give that testimony because as I'm talking about this, in a few minutes, I want everybody to know that, you can do the same thing. You can clean up your credit because if we're in times now that if you want to build wealth, whatever you want to build, you're gonna probably need some funding from from maybe venture capitalists or
Yes.
another bank, by other than a major bank. And doing that will help you, getting funding from a bank or something will help you. It'll help
Yes.
you, yeah, it'll help you with your with your approval rates, definitely.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you when we did your because I did it online for you, and when you got approved, you was like, wow. I mean, they instantly approved you, but it was
Yes.
because you did the work and got
Yes.
got that stuff off your credit score. I mean, how many points? You don't have to tell what your score was, but do you remember how many points over the period of time that we were working together? How many points did your credit score go up over a period of however long? Do you remember the number that your credit score went up?
Let me see. I think when I first, it was like a 640 or something. I think it jumped up to around what it was, 668, something like that.
Okay, okay. So it was when you first started. It was in the sixes. You said.
Yes, it was. It
Okay,
was.
and then they went up. Okay, okay, okay. Because I'm, really, you didn't have to tell the number of what it was, but I just wanted to kind of like do the math. Like whether it was 50 points for you over a period of time. I'm talking about
Yeah.
over a long period of time, like a
Okay.
year.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Do you
Yes.
know how many points it went up within a year? Do you remember
Um,
how you can't remember?
I really can't remember. I
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
remember, but
Yeah.
it
Okay.
it, it, it went up pretty good though. It went up pretty good though.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I was just so um caught
excited.
up in the moment of my points going up that I didn't really think about,
Right.
focusing on numbers,
Calculating.
you know. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Well, thank you for your time, and I know you're a busy young man, and we gotta get together since you did the other that other thing. I just hey, Regina. Yeah, I thank you for being here, and like I say, I know you have other things that you got going on, and we will definitely get together on doing some promotion for you, some marketing for you.
Yes.
Since you handled your other thing today that you said you wanted to do, so bravo
Yes.
for you. Yeah. So you
Thank
got
you.
that bit, yeah, you got that business taken care of. So yeah,
Thank
but we'll
you.
be talking, and I thank you for taking the time out. And thanks again for just stepping in real quick and just talking. So over here on Instagram, you hear him right. Okay. All righty. Well, we'll talk to you later, and we won't hold you up any longer. So all
All right.
righty. Okay.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Okay.
All
You
right.
too. Thank you. All right. Take care. Bye bye. All right. Let me see. Can I get you off of here? All right, he's already okay. Now back to what we were talking about with the how to clean up your credit. First of all, definitely before you begin to start cleaning up your credit, you got to know what's on your credit. And by doing that, there are 3 credit bureaus that you need to be able to reach out, contact, and find out what's on there. Whether it's something old, whether it's something in collections, whether it's something new, you can clean it up. It doesn't mean that you don't owe that particular bill or you don't owe that particular, whatever it is. I'm not saying that, but you definitely want to make sure that you clean it up. Meaning, if it's old over 7 years, it needs to be off. You need to dispute it. A lot of times we are disputing things online. That is not a good thing to do. I'm gonna say this: disputing online is a myth. It's not a good thing to do. And in the course, I tell you why. So I won't tell you here, but I tell you why in the course. So once you get your credit reports, once you get those all, and you find out what's really going on in your credit report, you heard my client earlier, how, things increase for them. You want to start creating strategies. Make sure, because it's going to take you're going to at least have to, at least the minimum 30 days to hear back from your creditors, or, if it's a dispute, if they got, even if they have the wrong balance, like to say you owe $200 and you only feel like you owe $100, where you can dispute that as well, but you don't dispute that online. Stop doing that. Don't dispute online. You need to sit down, write a letter, and address it that way. So, now the next thing is how we're going to clean up our credit. Is we going to make sure that everything on that report, it's reflection of us. It is ours. It is, you know there can be some other wrong information on there, and it's not yours, or it's it's old, and you need to clean it up. A lot of us, you have inquiries on your credit report. Inquiries are not good. Inquiries, although we have inquiries and they stay on there for at least about 2 years, there's ways that you can address them. But main thing is, if you know your credit is not super, super good, and people tell you, yeah, let me apply for this and you get 10% off. You know how they do it when you go in these stores and they tell you, let me get 10% off of something. No, stop doing that, because it's going to hit you a hard inquiry. And although now you hear people tell if they're like a soft pull, like if you're getting a utility bill, or you getting the utilities, and then things like that, you getting utilities or something, then that's pretty much a soft pull. They don't pull you. Yes, they do. Some of them do a hard pull. They do a hard pull. But here again, you want to make sure, and then that determines how much deposit you pay. So, see, having your credit good and decency, and just having it okay, and have things looking good, is definitely a benefit, because you paying less. And then I know a lot of you are into, you want home, you want your home, you're into home ownership. So, but you want to make sure that you're prepared for that. You got what you need for that. So now let me talk about some things. Let's go run down some things about, some basic things about credit. What is credit? Credit is the ability of a customer to obtain goods and services before payment, based on the trustworthiness of you paying that money back. Made in, if so now, everybody is familiar with FICO, right? You're familiar with the FICO score. A FICO score it's like a software that's calculating, you know, your score, and it's calculated from Fair Isaac Incorporation, and that's what FICO means. Fair Isaac Corporation. That's what FICO means. Okay, and then you have the three big ones, like I mentioned to you earlier. You have the three big ones that really report in a lot of merchants, companies, loan institutions, they pull from these three. A lot of time, all three of these have different information on you. That's why you need to pull them. You need to receive them, and that's why you need to get them in the mail. And why do you need credit? A lot of people don't maneuver their credit. A lot of folks, I've heard of people saying that they don't have credit. You need credit because you never know. You may have to buy a big ticket item and you don't have cash or a credit card for, and then you're going to need it. So it's beneficial for you to just address your credit, build your credit, clean up credit if you got some going on and you just really really need to get your act together and get this stuff off your credit. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about this week, and how to do that. And also, before I go any further with this, you know basically, your interest rate, having your credit in the most healthiest, best shape possible is going to benefit you in all areas of your life, your personal life, and your business life, if you ever decide to go that route. For as when I say go that route, meaning business, so you want to make sure that your credit is you got good credit, and that's the bottom line. What is good credit? Good credit is anything, for the most part, 640 and on up. A lot of companies for giving you credit. There are certain places that may look at home buying. I'm not sure what they are requiring now, because they kind of changed within the last year on the home ownership and what your credit score should be when you're getting a mortgage. But then you have to look at the higher your credit, the lower your interest rate, and meaning the less you will pay on the long term of that particular loan. So you want to be able to make sure that you pay less as possible. And that's why we're talking about credit. And you really need it. You really need it. You really need your good credit. You really need it. So anyway, back to what I was going to mention to you too. Once we get all of these things wrapped up and adjusted, and okay, once we get all of these things, kind of like in place, then you got to start maneuvering. You got to start taking care of that responsibility. That whether it's things on your credit that that need to be removed or addressed, contacting the company, because a lot of you may have a name that's close to yours, maybe an initial off. You just never know what it, and then something, if you're attached to them. I don't care if you feel like, let's back up. I don't even care right now if you feel like you have good credit. You need to at least pull your credit once a year. Really, you can pull it every because you get three a year. You can pull one, like from Experian, one time every, or I get in 3 months. I think now since COVID, they don't give you. I think you can, but I know you can pull them up online. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and you can pull up one online. They can either mail it to you, or they can mail it to you, or they can send it to you. You can pull it up, I mean, really off the computer, and then you can just print it out, or if you want to look at it on the computer. Because some of my clients that I work with now, that's what they're doing. That's what they do now. They're going over theirs online. So remember what I said earlier. Do not dispute anything on your credit report online. There's a reason for that, and it's in my course. If you are interested in getting the course that I will have for you, I want you to go and click the link in my bio, and then what you need to do is you need to let me double check and make sure which one it is and where it is, because I changed its location. Let me see where it is real quick. If you got a moment, let's see. Okay, the Credit Masterclass waiting list. If you click the link in my bio and then you go down to the courses, and you'll see the Credit Masterclass waiting list, go there. And when you go there, put your name on that waiting list. And this week, I'm going to be dropping that course. And that course is going to be detailed. You need to get your credit together. There's a lot of, I can't remember the stats exactly, but there are millions of people that don't have good credit. They don't have enough good credit. A lot of neighborhoods, certain neighborhoods, and do you know they target you by your zip code and your credit score? The average neighborhood, I think their credit score is not over 610 or 620. That's not good. But here again, if you have good credit, then that's bravo to you. Yay. But you still will want to keep check on your credit once a year. At least each, pull them from each credit bureau at least once a year. Now, something else I want to share with you tonight. We ain't gonna be long like we were last night. We had a good time last night. I had a good time with everybody that popped on. I hope they did too. Now the next thing, we're like cleaning up your credit. Here it is right here. Yeah. Um More so, and I think we went over a little bit of understanding your credit a little bit, but understanding that, remember I said pull from all three credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. All of those information and the addresses will be in there. Do not, listen to me closely. Don't dispute anything online. Dispute them with a letter. I have letters that I will be giving in that course. You don't have to do the work. I've already created them. They work. You heard it. For those that just coming in, I had one of my clients that I helped, get their credit together a few years ago, and they do it. They've done it. I even had one of my clients that I've helped them to get their credit score up 124 points within 1 year. I'm not saying that it's that for everybody, but everybody's different. But I'm just telling you that it is possible. It can be done. You can achieve the goal. You have to just do the work and make sure that you are, and you're not, you're just not out there spending after you get it together. You monitor your credit, you pay your bills on time, you strategically pay your bills. And then also there are some things that you can add on your credit report that doesn't show that you pay on time every month, and you have no problem with paying them every month. And you know it's not it's not a part of your of your history, but it can be a part of your history. And I go over that in class, and I give you the strategies to do that. So if you're borderline and then you're saying, but I don't have credit, I just don't have enough credit, there are ways that you can write and put things on your credit that you're paying on time. You don't want anything that you're not paying on time, and you can prove that you're paying it on time. And there are ways that it can be on your credit file, in your credit, in your credit report. So you can do some of the things, you may want to do something for your children later. You may want to do something that's going to, even as we're aging and getting older, you want to make sure that you're in a position of having accessibility to credit. You never know when you may need it. Your health may go bad. Something may happen and you have an emergency that you just don't have the cash. You need to get it. Yeah, I ain't saying just go out there and have a lot of credit cards or get in debt and things like that. I'm not saying that. But you want to put yourself in a position to have this. And I talk about business, and I talk about business strategies and things like that. I want to make sure that the people that I work with on business, that they are in, hey, how you doing? They are okay. You're 780. That's good. That is awesome. Hey, let us know how you get it to 780. I'm sure I know you pay your bills on time. I think you got me by what? Maybe about 40 points. But anyway, yeah, and then a couple of them say different things, but that's good. Yeah, so how you keep it that way is you budget yourself too. You keep your budget, keep a budget, and you make sure if anybody got a question or comment, you can put it down. I can see it over here on the screen. So you make sure that you keep it that way, and building up personal credit. We're talking about personal credit before we even business credit is a no whole nother class, a whole nother conversation. But like I said, one of my clients was on earlier, and they talked about, they had challenges with their credit. They had challenges. They had credit issues. So that way, you can build your credit. If you have things that you're paying on time, I just, said it earlier for those that's just coming in. If you had something that you're paying on time, and you just feel like, some people can say, I don't have credit, I don't have credit cards, I don't like credit cards. That's not the only way you can build credit. You can build credit with a vehicle. You want to, when you're applying for utilities, even jobs now require you, a lot of jobs. I know everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur, but even jobs, some jobs you can get turned down, or you can fail a security clearance because of your credit. I know plenty of people that it has happened to. You failed, they failed a security clearance because they didn't have excellent credit, or they didn't have good credit. And let me ask you this, big brother, are you there? Hey, listen, 200, $200 secured credit card. Exactly. Let me ask you this. When you got your franchise, one of your franchise, did they go by your credit before they approved you years ago? Do you remember, or do you know how that operates now? Do you know? Let me know. Yeah. So even if you want to go into business, I'm not sure about how that works, but I think you may have to get, a franchise, because I know I'm talking to someone that is an expert in the franchise industry too, as well. So some questions, if I don't know the answer to, I always ask. That's another thing we have to be more receptive of, because I don't know everything. Yeah, I'm learning every day, and things change so much. Companies do so much different things. You have to qualify on a different level and a different scale now, till it's just, it's unreal. Yeah. And he mentioned a $200 security credit card. There are credit cards out there. Open Sky has one that you can build your credit. What you can do, I will give you this nugget. What you can do is you put your money in, and they'll give you that limit up until what your money is, what you're using, your money, your own money. You can start out with $200. So you pay that every month on time. You can just pay it out. Don't even leave a balance. Find out when they are okay. Owners me, and I use my first store as credit for the second store. Okay, then you use this. Okay, alrighty. Owner finance. You use your credit for. Okay, he used his credit for the first, from the first store to the second store. So that maybe that tells me then that they probably, you may need to have good credit. You may need to, even for a franchise. So see if your personal credit is in limbo. You're having issues. You need to clean it up. You need to get it together, or whatever it is. It's very important to get it together, because it stops us from generating wealth. It stops us in a sense. Everybody may not be affected by it, but like I mentioned to you the other day when I talked about contracts, government contracts, and things like that, I mentioned to you that sometimes you can get an awarded a government contract. Let's say, for instance, you may get a contract, and then you meeting that demand of that contract, you just don't have the cash. Going to the bank and trying to get them to secure that loan for you, it may fall through because your credit is not together. And I don't want you to miss out on opportunities out here because you are dealing with issues with your credit. I don't want that to happen to you in personal and in business. So, like I said, I had the client on earlier. You listen to the replay. I'll leave this one up. You can listen at the replay, and you can hear what they said about, what they did in order to get, in order to be in a position to get some credit, because they have an invention, and in the future they may have a lot of things that they may need money for. So he was very, very, very receptive, and he really needed to get, he was very, he was he was receptive of getting his credit together. So I know now more than ever, credit is needed. We need to make sure that we're in position and get on the waiting list, because I have the class. I won't tell you everything you need to do, but it's in the class. I won't tell you everything on here what you need to do, but it's in the class of how you can build your credit. Get it up, clean it up, get it together. Well, that's all we're going to talk about tonight. But we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to talk about those strategies and the things tomorrow. We're going to talk about, we'll probably be talking about it. Maybe it may go into this series. It may go into Wednesday, but it may not, because I may be able to finish tomorrow. But what I want to finish discussing with you, get on the waiting list, because those get on the waiting list, I will be changing the price by the end of the week. I'm going to give you $97 special, but by the end of the week is going to $297, because this information here, and if you do everything I tell you to do in the DIY, you'll thank me in the long run. And if you are not that person that need this, tell somebody to join us tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. And we're going to do the same thing tomorrow, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. Okay. And also remember that this can help you with business credit as well. If you maybe in the future you may want to help your child start a business later on, and they don't have the funding. And if your credit is not in tip-top shape, you can't do nothing for them. You can't help them. Maybe it's something that you want to invest in, and you may find some real estate property, something that you like, oh, I just want this property to as an investment. If your credit is not together, sometimes I know they're creative financing and things like that, but you need good credit. You need your credit. You need to clean up your credit. You need to get it together. If you have good credit, still do what I told you to do earlier. Make sure you know what, so it can stay good. Okay. Anything can happen. Somebody can steal your identity. Anything can happen with your credit, and your credit, and it's harder to get it cleaned up versus, being proactive. It's, sometimes they have to wait 3 and 4 and 5 months. I've seen it happen. I know other people that it's happened to. Okay. All righty. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. And thanks so much. Tell somebody about what's going on. Tell somebody about this particular information that is very, very needed. We need good credit, and that's the bottom line. If I don't know anything else, I know we need good credit. All of us. We need it, because a lot of companies are in business because you don't have good credit. They're in business because your credit is suffering. We need good credit. Just like we need businesses, we need credit. And I'm gonna tell you that it's not a want, we need. Alrighty, you never know which direction things may go in the future. We pray that they go good, but you need good credit. Okay, tell your pastor, tell your deacon, tell your husband, tell your wife, tell your sister, brother, tell anybody that you know that they need good credit. Tell your pastor, you can, your preacher, your bishop, or whoever, you need good credit. Okay. You can't give him all your money. You need good credit. You got to get yourself together. I'm not saying that you neglect paying your bills. What I'm saying to you is you follow the strategies to clean your stuff up. Get your business and get your house in order. Alrighty? Okay. And I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty. Thanks so much. And y'all have a beautiful night. I have things to do. All right. Okay. Thanks for being here. And hope y'all have a blessed day. Bye bye. Blessed evening. Alrighty. Gotta go get me some dinner. See y'all later.